Shall we go over to you, Carl? Thanks so much, Stacy. And we may have you in again here shortly. But yeah, I wanted to give Carl a chance to come on in and give us what he's got.
Sure. So do you want me to just recap my position paper, or should I?
Well, I would love it if Maggie and I were talking about this whole thing about the kind of like the, I mean, I think you're fundamentally sort of in the social realm, but of course you're talking about social as includes in the broadest sense, our sort of social kind of like human kind of connection with or responsibility to not just those people with whom we currently are embedded socially, but those people that are future generations in history. So you're kind of already in that realm anyhow, in what you're talking about, from my understanding. But just, yeah, maybe any sort of like refinement or deepening of the point already made with respect to that.
Sure. So maybe I can relate. I picked up on, we talked about spirituality a little bit towards the beginning. So I was thinking maybe I could just connect my work to that very concept. So my work is largely, for those of you who weren't here in the previous section, is on the large scale sociological and macro ethical questions of what we owe as a generation, both towards the previous generation who is leaving their data or their digital remains online, and to future generations who are going to inherit these data. So very much on a kind of collective level. But one thing that I've discovered throughout my research is that when we're doing projections of mortalities towards or over the course of the 21st century, and trying to project how many of those are going to be on social media and where are they going to be located. So basically, how many people will die, in what age group, in what country, and what social media will they use. What we're seeing is that the phenomenon of leaving digital remains on social media is certainly not going to be primarily a Western phenomenon. It's much more going to be an African and South Asian phenomenon. Yet when we talk about it, especially in research and the existing literature, we tend to focus on this somewhat secular aspect of creating chatbots, or this, we will almost talk about it in this transhumanist kind of way of what will become of our agency in the future. I just wanted to highlight some alternative kind of non-Western approaches to the spiritual aspect of these kinds of technologies. So one phenomenon that we discovered or researching this is in the Middle East, especially in Egypt and Saudi Arabia. It's very common to subscribe to apps, so-called Islamic prayer apps, that will start tweeting Islamic supplications from your Twitter profile. And they will do this automatically a couple of times per day, kind of on your behalf. But what makes the connection to online death is that when I translated all of these apps, how they advertise themselves, they were all pushing the fact that this app will continue tweeting from your Twitter profile after your death forever, which is interesting because in Islam, things that happen after your death can actually be good for you in the afterlife. So things that you set in motion can be good, kind of like an Islamic version of indulgences in the Catholic Church. Only now it's a bot that is doing the praying on your behalf. And when we tried to measure the traffic, we collected 1.9 million tweets per day from only one of these apps, meaning that there are many, many more millions of tweets every day from people who may not now be dead, but in a couple of years, these millions of tweets on Twitter will be posted from deceased user accounts. And I really want to stress that this is not a secular phenomenon. It's a reinterpretation of a religious phenomenon. And more importantly, it is not a high-tech phenomenon. It doesn't necessitate any advanced AI or any real algorithm at all. It's just a very automatic, basic function that anyone with a mobile phone basically can access and use. So the point that I wanted to make with this is that I think when it comes to these bigger sociological perspectives, we really ought to sort of widen our perspectives and realize that the part of online death that we're researching is, in fact, a small minority of the cases out there.
Can I want to mute myself?
Sorry, can I just answer to Lillian's question?
Maggie, you're muted. You unmuted and then remuted. Did you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Can I just answer Lillian's question there? Will not Twitter easily spot these as bots and purge them? How would people of faith react? Well, here's the thing. It's really difficult for Twitter to actually spot these, because the way that you spot a bot account is usually that they're trying to influence hashtags, but these are not using any hashtags. Moreover, it's what the bot detection software looks for is accounts that are looking inauthentic. Well, the thing with these accounts is that they are looking very authentic, because the content, the religious or the content generated by the bot is intermixed with an ordinary person's account. So it doesn't necessarily look automated. If you look at one of these profiles, they oftentimes looks like a normal profile. There's nothing obvious there that, telling you that it's a bot. And if you buy the premium version of the apps, or not all apps offer this, but if you buy the premium version, they will erase any trace that it's actually generated by an app. So it will look customized as if it is actually you posting it.